Ukraine forces are advancing along parts of the front line against Russian troops near the war-torn eastern town of Bakhmut. Our soldiers are moving forward in some areas of the front, and the enemy is losing equipment and manpower, Oleksandr Syrsky, commander of the Ukrainian ground forces, said on social media on Saturday. The defensive operation in the Bakhmut direction continues. Russia acknowledged on Friday its forces had fallen back north of Ukraine's ruined eastern city in a retreat the head of Russia's Wagner private army called a rout, not a regrouping. In its latest bulletin, Russia's defense ministry said its forces gained control over another block in Bakhmut. The units of the airborne forces provided support to the assault units and pinned down the enemy. Uses the term assault units to denote the Wagner private militia, which has been spearheading the assault on Bakhmut at great cost in casualties. The United Kingdom on Thursday became the first country to supply Kyiv with long-range cruise missiles, which will allow it to hit Russian troops and supply dumps far behind the front lines. Storm Shadow air-to-air missiles supplied to the Kyiv regime by Great Britain were used for the strike, despite London's declarations that these weapons would not be used against civilian targets. Russia's defense ministry Ukrainian aircraft, and Su-24 and a MiG-29, that launched the missiles. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky arrived in Rome on Saturday for talks with government officials and Pope Francis. In April, the Pope announced the Vatican was involved in a peace mission to try to end the conflict between Russia and Ukraine but declined to give further details. Both Moscow and Kyiv publicly expressed surprise over his comments at the time. It will be Zelensky's first trip to Italy since Russia launched the full-scale invasion of Ukraine on February 24, 2022. He is to meet separately with President Sergio Mattarella and Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni before heading to the Vatican. He is also expected to be the guest of a popular Italian television talk show before heading to Germany. Germany's defense ministry said the country is preparing a new weapons package for Ukraine worth €2.7 billion, €2.9 billion, reportedly Berlin's largest since Russia invaded last year. Kyiv said the massive new weapons package was another sign that Russia would lose its war against Ukraine. States declare large defense aid packages for Ukraine, said Mikhailo Podolyak, an advisor to Zelensky. Russia was bound to lose and sit on the bench of historical shame, he said. Ukraine's Foreign Minister Dmytro Kuleba said he discussed the next weapons supplies with U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken. I paid close attention to the importance of providing Ukraine with F-16s and steps necessary to begin training of Ukrainian pilots. Zelensky and his team have been promoting Kyiv's 10-point peace plan and urging world leaders to hold a global peace summit based on the proposals. It calls for restoring Ukraine's territorial integrity, the withdrawal of Russian troops and the cessation of hostilities. Zelensky has repeatedly said the plan is not open to negotiations.